Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, sallallahu wasallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. What was recited in the second rak'ah was the chapter of Al-Ghafir. First and second rak'ah was the chapter of Al-Ghafir. But I want to touch on the technique that Musa alayhi salam used when speaking to his people about Islam. When Musa alayhi salam told his people, when he called them, he was telling them, "Oh my people, what are you? Ya qawmi ma li ad'ukum? What is it that I am calling you to success, and you are calling me to the fire? تدعونني لأكفر بالله وأشرك به ما ليس لي به علم. تدعونني لأكفر بالله وأشرك به. You're calling me to disbelieve in Allah and make partners with Allah, what I have no knowledge of. وأنا أدعوكم إلى العزيز الغفار. And you are calling, and I am calling you to the Aziz al-Ghaffar. I'm calling you to the one that is full of might and the one that is all forgiving." If you notice the names that he uses here, he says, "I'm calling you to Al-Aziz." Al-Aziz shows that he has full might and authority and control, which is indirectly showing them that he has all power over you and all power over any of the other gods that you may be calling to, or any of the other deities. All of this is within the name Al-Aziz. But at the same time, being that he has all that authority and he has power over you to destroy you, he is also Al-Ghaffar. He forgives you of any sins that you may have committed, particularly the sin of polytheism, particularly the sin of saying that God is a son, a father, particularly of saying that Allah is Fir'aun, particularly of saying that any type of creation has any godly characteristics, which is the essence of shirk, which is the essence of polytheism. And then he says, "Ma jarama annama أدعوكم إلى العزيز الغفار لا جرم أن ما تدعونني إليه ليس له دعوة في الدنيا ولا في الآخرة." He said, there is no doubt that what you are calling me to has no da'wah, has no effect or call in this life or in the next life. وَأَنَّ مَرَدَّنَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. And then he reminds him, and verily our return is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَأَنَّ لِلْمُسْرِفِينَ هُمْ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ. And those that waste, or those that are excessive, really in wasting, turning away from the tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, hum ashabun nar, those are the inhabitants of the fire. And then he concludes here, and this is the highlighted portion I want to touch on. فَسَتَذْكُرُونَ مَا أَقُولُ لَكُمْ. You will surely remember what I tell you. وَأُفَوِّضُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ بَصِيرٌ بِالْعِبَادِ. And he says, you will surely remember what I'm telling you, and I rely and put all of my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verily Allah is basirun bil ibad. So this is like a warning. It's saying, look, after everything I've told you about God's characteristics, He's the Almighty, the All-Forgiving, He's called them to their Creator. And then He told them, look, what you're calling me to has no real effect and no long-lasting effect, and it's untrue. And then He says, look, just remember what I'm saying. You're going to remember. There's going to be a day that you're going to remember what I'm saying. And I put all my trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All my affairs, I totally rely on Him. Meaning that it is Allah that is enabling me to talk to you and to give you this guidance. And it is Allah that you have to answer to, not me. Not me. Inna Allah basirun bil ibad. And then at the very end, He reminds him of another quality of Allah, that Allah is al-basir bil ibad. And He shows them that, look, you are slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah is watching you. Allah is watching what you're doing. Allah is watching everything you're doing. So don't worry about me seeing you. Don't worry about me encountering your polytheistic practices or your secret things that you're doing. Allah sees you. He is Al-Basir. He is Al-Aziz. And it's up to you to ask for forgiveness, because He is also Al-Ghafur, as was mentioned. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when dealing with people that may not listen to us, especially our children, family members, etc., put our trust ultimately in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But it is our job to relay the message in our statements, and most importantly in our actions. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us to that which is true, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide us with that which is firm, and allow that to be a rippling effect on those around us, inshallah. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa barak ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.